Hello, friends. It is Thursday, January 27th, year of our Lord, and I'm going to review two Perfect 10 albums. This is my tea, this is my lemon, this is my little ritual. The two albums I'm reviewing are The Year of the Snitch by Death Grips. Death Grips are a new metal band. You know, like Korn, Limp Bizkit, Deftones, they combine like rock, like arena rock stuff with like rapping and distortion. And they're basically like the Funkadelic to the Parliament that is Hella, which Hella was in the same scene as the Deftones. The Deftones are approximately as good a band as Hella, and approximately as good a band as the Death Grips. But yeah, for some reason, Anthony Fantano's favorite music is nu metal, but when he tries to review a Limp Bizkit record, he is so offended by nu metal's existence that he eats a sandwich or something. Which just proves, again, how pretentious he is and unable to accept his own opinions or commits to them. Or perhaps he just sees it as post-industrial. He'll genreify it until it's acceptable in his brain that the thing that he hates is directly connected to the thing that he loves. And the band that he, as a sanctimonious, vegan, politically adept person, the band he's sending everybody to go listen to is satanic cult music. Talking about sampling directly Charlie Manson. Linda's in Custody is about literally the Tate LaBianca murders. Trent Reznor actually recorded the Downward Spiral where the Tate, not the Tate LaBianca murders, where the Sharon, yeah, I guess that's where the murders happened, is in the house. So, one for 9 Inch Nails there on Death Grips. They actually recorded the record where the Charlie Manson murders happened. That's more impressive than just referencing the Charlie Manson murders. But anyway, I'll start with the one that people care about more because it's newer, which is Year of the Snitch by Death Grips, which is a good album. It's a very good album. All their albums are very good. I would give all their albums 10. Every Death Grips album, including the interview instrumental thing, including the Hidden Dragon thing. They all sound like part of a piece to me. And Year of the Snitch is a very good conclusion for, I think, what Death Grips' statement was from ex-military through all their releases through Year of the Snitch. I hope to hear new Death Grips music because I love Death Grips, but I'll be content with this as the conclusion of Death Grips because it sounds a lot of ways like the rational conclusion in my brain to Death Grips. This album, they sampled themselves a lot, so a lot of the things that were formerly these samples, now they're sampling themselves. It's like pattern of a pattern. They're like becoming a what's that simulation? The thing Jean Baudrillard talks about, simulacrum simulation. They're basically becoming a simulacrum of what people think Death Grips is. And I think the first half of this record is mostly an intro. I think Death Grips is online, Flies, Black Paint, Linda's in Custody, Horn Section is literally an intro. These are separate songs. I'll review the songs. Death Grips is online, doing handstands in a Trans Am. It's fun. It's got a good beat. I like the way it's got these dizzying, it's got the old school record scratches and then mixed with this dizzying triplet thing and then this calm response with Bride on one level then Ride on the other thing. So he's doing like it's pretty cool. And then it goes into just like lawnmower noises, just like buzzsaw lawnmower, which doesn't sound great, but is secretly genius, apparently. Flies, should the opportunity arise, vomit me, flies. Flies, vomit me, vomit green eyes. Anyway, yeah, it's like a fun play on words. I don't think the lyrics are very good on this record, honestly. It's kind of a sloppier version of what the lyrics are on the earlier Death Grips records. And a lot of lyrics are not MC Ride at all. There's a lot of parts of this that are just a voice that's clearly not Ride. I don't know who it is. But there's just some guy saying stuff and singing in like a normal voice not the MC Ride scream free associate. Satan! I'm gonna kill you! Which is apparently the most meaningful thing you can express lyrically. Flies vomit me, vomit green eyes. Black Paint. Black Paint sounds like a sludge metal song. It's okay. And then it goes into a completely different section that's cooler than the sludge metal part to me for a little bit. But it's mostly this just like sludgy. It's like, I just like the salt on your ear. I listened to this album on a lot of ketamine. There's a lyric in this album instructing you kind of to listen to it on a lot of ketamine. The disassociative quality of this record, I found it difficult to critique when I heard it. I was like, I'm not sure if this is the best or the worst Death Grip record. It's just very confusing. It was jarring to me. So I took a bunch of ketamine and listened to it. Because he says, frightening and embarrassing, like 1% in pleasantries, gather your things, bolt to you reach. The crystal fields of ketamine, I'll meet you there. I'll beat you there. Bet I'll be there before you leave. This to me is a lyric like Jimi Hendrix's in Voodoo Child. Meet you in the next world, but don't be late. It's a worse version of that lyric. But anyway, I took him up on his challenge. Listen to this on ketamine. My feelings of this album on ketamine are basically, it's a satanic carnival, similar to the Insane Clown Posse. Big up Juggalos. Respect you much more than Death Grips fans. You didn't get your opinions from someone else. But yeah, it sounds like a dark carnival. It sounds like a scary, circusy thing when it starts. Linda's in Custody, I don't think is that great of a song. The voices are through a lot of filters, so I had to read the lyrics. I usually understand lyrics pretty well. Death Grips are one of the few groups that actually have to read lyrics because they're indecipherable a lot of times. And then the lyrics themselves are often just not that great when you read them. Some of them hold up as poetry. Like, I think Flies would be a decent poem. I think the stuff on Ha 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 would just be bad rap about banging groupies and objectifying women and stuff, which apparently it was not down with. Although he wants you to listen to somebody who encourages you to do directly that. Anyway, Linda's in Custody goes into the horn section. I don't know why this is called the horn section. It's a drum solo with a piano over it. So it's like they play keyboards over a drum solo. And that's called the horn section. Again, I view this whole first thing as an elaborate intro into Ha Ha Ha. And then the carnival, the destroyer, and then it drops and it goes, and then MC Ride comes in with the good rhymes, like the good old Death Grips rhymes that you know. That's how this album starts to me. That's why I view the whole up to Ha 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 as an intro. Because when it drops into that, all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I remember this place. This place is awesome. And the rhymes are good. The beats are really dense and moving. And then I like the way that it switches from that first beat to that doom 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 doom, turn into you again. This shit extra crazy, dog. But if you actually read the lyrics to read the lyrics to Ha Ha Ha, my favorite song on the record. I'm at a glow bowl in a wet fuck hole. Where's the 94 hobos throw? 69s and the bitches shout. I'll fuck you when I want to hang out. Tell the princess eat shit and die. Ownage. Not in public ho, I'm still high. These pigs are crazy, dog. The narc at the dyke bar in a slow car. Looking like a hedgehog. Sluts go Sonic. Trying to dick your mom and shit. I'll do anal in the pit. Repulsive as a benched Nick. Show your titties and I'll spit. These chicks are crazy, dog. Hate you on a fucking whim. These are the lyrics. These are the lyrics to Sanctimonious Fantano's soundtrack of life. And somehow, he can't review a Limp Bizkit album. But this is a 10. This is clearly a 10. Just, Satan worship. That's fine. That's what I do. I do Satan worship and drum solos. This is literally my thing. You're into that? Anyway. Yeah, you're the Snitch. After Ha Ha Ha, the highlight of the record, clearly to me, is, well, actually, Dilemma sucks. Disappointed might be the highlight of the record. Because Disappointed is what the whole point of the record is, I think. How I interpret the record. After Ha Ha Ha's Shit Show. Shit Show is, as you would expect, very abrasive, very atonal, very unpleasant to listen to, just chugging, just seemingly random noise thrown at you. My ketamine memory of this is Death Grips is, your brain is a Nintendo cartridge, Death Grips is blowing air into your brain, which is a Nintendo cartridge. So that's how I think of Death Grips music, is my brain's an N64 cartridge and they're just and you need that, because my brain's broken. My brain's still broken. Ketamine doesn't cure depression, it just gets you high on ketamine. Sorry guys that are getting insurance to shoot you up with ketamine. That's what I do too, but still depressed. But at least I got to be on ketamine, right? Streaky is really good. Streaky, again, you're back in the old Death Grips. It's funky, the beat's sick, it switches in a bunch of cool ways. I like the song Streaky a lot. Dilemma I dislike. It sounds like a bad Hella song. It sounds like a bad proggy, kind of clumsy. The song reminds me of Inanimate Sensation, another one of my least favorite Death Grips songs. When they try to do just a bad version of Hella, it frustrates me, because it's like, why are you even bothering? You're not even trying to incorporate rap. Why is this even Death Grips? Little Richard, similarly, is not that interesting. I mean, it's like weird robot video game noises, and MC Ride isn't on it. It's like a soft-voiced robot man singing over a prog rock song with lo-fi video game noise music, which is pretty cool. The Fear I like a lot. It has like this jazzy, energetic feel to it. This has some of Ride's best lyrics on this record. This record's not without good lyrics. There's on certain tracks. The Fear has good lyrics, but they're very dark. They're like encouraging you to kill yourself. They're saying like, jump, jump, kill yourself. Kill somebody. I'm gonna kill somebody. It's literally what the lyrics are. That's what the chorus is. Telling you to kill yourself. Or I'm gonna kill you. Maybe it's that. That's the charitable interpretation. Is that it's a murderer, not a suicide. But yeah, it's a good song. Musically compelling, not a lot of melody. I'm not very interested in melody at this point. I feel like we peaked way long ago with melody. And the 10s are getting cheaper, if you know what I mean. Inflation. Pay your rates. Prices going up. So these are both 10s, right? But 10 isn't worth what it was worth in 1995 when the Downward Spiral was written. But Disappointed, I love this song. This song, the and then it just goes into this crazy, like, taking that call and response thing to this most obnoxious degree of extreme dynamics of like disappointed, pointed. Then ultimately, the final statement from Ride is, "Why me? Why me?" That's apparently his wisdom at the end of a career of Satan worship and industrial prog metal. Is why me, the most kind of childish interpretation of just like resenting the fact that you were born, or resenting the fact that the attention's on you, or just questioning everything like a child. Again, literally like a child. That's what a child does. They just say why. And that's apparently the wisdom that he's gained from all of his embracement from hipsters and banging groupies and worshiping Satan, doing ketamine. Yeah, apparently, just violence and self-obsession doesn't leave you with a good worldview. Who knew? Trent Reznor kind of knew, because he made this album that was way earlier than the Death Grips record. It's also industrial, way more melodic, way more musically impressive, way more fun to listen to, way more memorable lyrically. In any kind of way I could measure a record, a far superior record is The Downward Spiral, which is even better than Pretty Hate Machine, which is also a 10 and an incredible record that came out in 1989. So, just after I was born. Downward Spiral came out in 1994. And it starts with one of the best songs on the record, Mr. Self-Destruct. I am the needle in the vein. I am the high you can't sustain. I am the bullet in the gun. He's moving through a journey. It's a more coherent narrative, this one. This seems like a person losing their mind, giving into sex, giving into drugs, giving into technology, getting lost in it, and being left with nothing, but then it ends with hurt, which is kind of the wisdom of this humility of like, what have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. You could have it all. My empire of dirt. I would let you down. I would make you hurt. That's a much more helpful realization to have after just giving into your impulse of endlessly just doing the most, saying the most offensive, doing the most evil, whatever. Which is what on the Downward Spiral he's doing. I mean, this is a brutal record too. Mr. Self-Destruct. This is brutal to my ears as anything on any Death Grips record. Piggy is a great song. Nothing can hurt me now because I don't care anymore. Nothing can hurt me now because I just don't care. Hey, pig. Yeah, you heresy is great. God is dead and no one cares. If there's a hell, I'll see you there. March of the Pigs, great. I love that stompy, that and then the chorus, the screams. His screams are better than Ride's screams. They're actually musical screams that fit the notes of the song. They're not just random, a guy yelling over a thing off key. After March of the Pigs is Closer. Closer is one of the greatest songs ever written. It starts with a slow, funky beat, and it's like going through, you let me violate you, you let me penetrate you, help me, I broke apart my insides, help me, I got no soul to sell, the only thing that works for me, help me get away from myself, I want to fuck you like an animal, I want to feel you from the inside. My whole existence is flawed, you get me closer to God. That is such a more beautiful way to have sex with a groupie than the lyrics from Ha Ha Ha. If you're just gonna be a heroin addict and have sex with a groupie, that's fine. But like, just be cool. Just be cool to other people. You don't have to treat other people like garbage. Apparently, that makes people think you're cool. Is to emotionally not connect to what you're doing and distort it so that you can't hear the lyric or make it a secret reference so that you have to go through some convoluted path to understand that he's referencing Satan, that he's referencing occultism, spells, like Aleister Crowley stuff. Like, I am familiar with that stuff. I'm very fascinated by it. I know people who worship Satan. I don't think that they're that more misguided than Christians. I think Satan is a very important thing to understand. It's very close to God. It's the flip side of the same thing. Good and evil are necessary. Evil music is usually better. Evil art is usually more compelling than somebody trying to be good. Conservative people rarely make history artistically. But they're also probably just like happier in everyday life. So, whatever. I'm an unhappy person trying to be a fake creative because nobody cares about my art. But they do care about Closer, because Closer is a great song. I've never written a song that's that good. That song is fucking amazing. I wouldn't change a note. The way it goes into the dun, 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 and then it just goes down to the piano figure, that dun, 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 dun. The way it builds gets funky, like disco dancey, and then dark, and then elevates, and then turns into this really kind of cathartic explosion of dun 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 dun, and then the softness that you're left with at the end. It's kind of a microcosm of the entire record. After Closer is Ruiner, which is a great song, based on kind of like a weird stumble beat, like March of the Pigs, and this is great. Between this Ruiner, The Becoming, I Do Not Want This, he tells kind of the narrative of him falling apart mentally. He talks about how he doesn't really feel anymore, he doesn't really love anymore, he doesn't really know who he is anymore, he just knows technology, he just knows drugs, he just knows sex, he doesn't feel like a real person. He's struggling to even have an identity. Man with the Gun is the only song it's too on the nose in my opinion for this record, because the lyrics are literally like, I have a big gun, I'm gonna shoot you in the face, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna fuck you. It's kind of more like a Death Grips type song. A Warm Place is just kind of an instrumental that the prior songs were sufficiently kind of aggressive, I think, to warrant a kind of breather in this Warm Place, which is just kind of a quieter kind of oasis. And then Eraser is one of my favorite songs on the record. The lyrics to Eraser are incredible. I've already recited too many lyrics to this album, and I wanted to recite lyrics to Eraser, Reptile, Downward Spiral, and Hurts. I mean, Downward Spiral doesn't really have lyrics, but like the lyrics are so good on every song on this record that I just kind of want to read them all to you. I don't think that's how music reviews work, unfortunately for me, because I would like someone to tell me what the good songs on a record are, what the influences are, and what the content of the message of the thing is about, instead of just describing a bunch of subgenres and then kind of doing like a poem about how this fits into culture, man. How does this... But I guess that's what I'm doing. I guess that's what music criticism ultimately is just this kind of cesspool of projecting your own nonsense onto other people's art, and then if that's compelling, then you can successfully monetize judging other people as a profession. Judging other artists seems like a very cruel and unusual profession, but I'll take it if no one will accept me as a creative. At least it's tangentially related to art, you know what I mean? So yeah, Reptile, amazing song. Goes through all these different sections that I'm not going to do a cappella versions of, and then Downward Spiral leads into Hurt. Hurt is the summation. I've already given lyrics from Hurt that are the summation. I don't really know what else to say about Downward Spiral other than I strongly recommend you listen to it. I think it's a perfect album start to finish. It tells a great story of a person kind of confronting their demons and then facing them ultimately with maturity and humility. Whereas Year of the Snitch is just kind of reveling in the demonic, making it more demonic, making it faker, making fun of your own audience, trolling. It's called the Year of the Snitch. Like, the point of this album is kind of to people like the hipsters that think it's cool to listen to satanic music written by people that are mentally unstable, but they don't actually want to deal with mental instability. They don't actually want to do the drugs that they're listening to, the bands that they're listening to are on. They don't actually want to try to create that art. They wouldn't dare, but they can have the leather runs smooth on the passenger seat. So, those are two albums that I really love that are perfect 10s. And the reason that I wanted to compare Death Grips and 9 Inch Nails is because my initial thing I thought when I heard Death Grips is correct. Death Grips is hipster Deftones. They are a new metal band. They are the best new metal band. Congratulations, Death Grips. You are the king of the worst genre of music in history. I'll just eat food next time.